Hello and welcome to tonight's game between the Charlotte Eagles and the Richmond Kickers. We're here live at Dixon Field on the campus of Queens University of Charlotte. Going to run through the starting lineups for you. First for Richmond, in goal is number 1, Ryan Taylor. Now on the four-man back line is number 33, Taylor Kemp. Number 25, Henry Kalungi. Number 2, William Yambi. And number 4, Luke Vercoloni. In midfield, number 28, Samuel Asante, a former Charlotte Eagle. Number 14, Colin Martin. Number 11, George Davis. Number 18, Alex Lee. Number 21, Cristiano Francois. And the lone man up top is number 29, Michael Seaton. The Kickers are coached by Lee Calishaw.
Thanks, Hunter. And for the Charlotte Eagles, be lining up in a 4-3-3 formation. Doug Herrick in the goal as we get underway. Four-man back line for the Eagles as well. Gold, Dixon, Duckett, and Newnham. In the midfield, Yates, Sekjeri, and Guzman. And Boggs and Herrera out wide with Gino in the middle. Beautiful night for soccer. Should be an exciting game, rematch of the league semifinals. So a couple of the better teams in the league here getting at it early on in the season.
On a rivalry that has been going on for 20 plus years now. As the Eagles squeak one into the box, but it goes out for a corner kick.
Early on, you see Ben Newnham attacking from the left back position, getting deep into the final third of Richmond, creating an opportunity there. It's something that Coach Mark Steffens of the Charlotte Eagles really likes to do, get those outside backs involved in the attack.
And one, as Herrera sends it in, punched out by Taylor. Now into the box.
Former Eagle Asante on the ball there. He'll be familiar with Dixon Field, which is an interesting playing surface, something that takes some adjusting to with the artificial turf as Gold collides into Seaton there. Maybe a bit fortunate to not get the whistle blown.
One of the tactical changes earlier this year, Coach Steffens was trying to get Matt Gold back to his college position, playing in midfield. In the preseason game against App State, he played in midfield, but he's back on the back line where he excelled last year, anchoring the defense for the Eagles.
Gold and Newnham, the veterans there on the back line, joined by Duckett and Dixon. There's Duckett wins the header off of that ball out by Taylor.
Dixon played under Charlotte Eagles assistant coach Dave Dixon when Coach Dixon was the head coach of the Mississippi Brila, a PDL team. As Taylor has a misplay there, but luckily Kalungi was there.
And you can see the turf taking a couple funny bounces, making it a little difficult on these guys early on. Safety first from Newnham, taking no chances there in the back. They're going to... And referee Mark Katalisic seeing the linesmen's, the assistant referees flag up there on the far side. Find Seaton offsides on that long ball.
Seaton, one of the DC United loanees. Only 2 of the 4 are in the starting lineup, Seaton and midfielder Cristiano Francois. As you see Gold moving forward. And that's Kickers veteran Luke Vercoloni, number 4 there.
Now Eagles veteran and captain Jorge Herrera on the ball, combining with Noonan down the left side into Gino, but can't quite get it to Boggs. Dixon
Now,
decides to go all the way back to Herrick, and the Eagles will regroup, open things up.
Boggs, a former New England Revolution player, was actually the MLS Humanitarian of the Year award winner in, I believe, 2012. That back pass goes too far back for a corner kick.
I like the mentality here early on from Charlotte, pressing a little bit, making Richmond play out of the back, not giving them anything for free. Like we said, on this tough surface, it's a road game. Get on the front foot in front of your home fans here early on.
As Herrera sends this one in.
Boggs looked like he could have, if he had anticipated it getting through, could have had a good look at goal there. Somehow found himself unmarked in the middle.
Guzman sent it back to Gold, who sends it back forward. Now that's going to be a throw in for the Kickers.
So you're going to see tonight Vercalone, Asante, and Martin as kind of a midfield three for Richmond. That's going to be, I think, an interesting battle. Those three against Sacheri, Guzman, and Yates. Whichever of those three can win that midfield and find a way to get connected to their center forward.
There's Davis. Another shot off.
Guzman losing the ball at the top of the defensive third. That's something Coach Steffens will be hoping to fix there early. Because if you give guys like George Davis opportunities, Seaton, Vercalone, these guys, they can make you pay. Richmond confident in attack. Been able to get 2 goals in each of their first 2 games. Davis, a guy that played with the Blues out in L.A. the last couple years and was among their leading scorers. So proven goal scorer at this level. Need to be able to keep possession. They're building it out of the back and force Richmond to go through all 11 players if they're going to get a goal.
As Herrick gathers that one up. The Blues no longer branded as LA Blues. They're now the Orange County Blues.
Great touch by Yates. Well done to get out of pressure there.
Yates, part of the 2008 NCAA championship team for Maryland, played with Maurice Adu, Graham Zusi, a lot of U.S. national team members.
Clarence Goodson may have been on that team as well. He's a Maryland guy. Great touch by Seaton, getting away from Duckett.
Duckett using his wheels to close the gap.
Good help from Guzman. Force it back.
Yates
now
intercepts
can Charlotte break? Something I think Charlotte will be looking to do is when they win that ball in the midfield is to try and find David Gino, who's playing that lone center striker. If they can get the ball to his feet early and he can hold it up, then Boggs, Yates, Herrera can come and join, get out of pressure.
Gino is a guy who played for the Sounders U23 team last year. Did not play on the team when they traveled here to Dixon Field in the U.S. Open Cup. That's going to be a goal kick for Doug Herrick. Gino scored 4 goals in the game, the round before the Sounders versus Eagles game, but suffered an injury that week in practice when I was unable to make the trip. Charlotte, of course, eventually winning 3-0 and then losing next round to the Chicago Fire. Gino, very talented forward. Played his college ball at East Tennessee State.
I like David Gino's game. I think he's going to be a productive player for Charlotte. I think there's going to be a bit of a learning curve and adjustment gap to battling with guys like William Yambi week in and week out at this level, but he can do it. He has the physical size to do it, and he's got the game to do it. So excited to see him develop over the course of the season.
Guzman's, Ben Noonan's through pass goes all the way through to Kickers keeper Ryan Taylor. And you mentioned Yambi. Yambi and Kalungi were part of that USL Pro regular season championship team for the Kickers last year. Two of the best defenders in USL Pro. Now Seaton trying to thread through, finds Martin. And that's Cristiano Francois. Now Vercoloni. Back to Francois. Vercoloni flicks in. And Jorge Herrera does the standing bicycle kick to clear it.
Another bad spot to give the ball away there by Dixon. Good.
That ducked clearance wasn't quite what he wanted, but Matt Gold clears it out of immediate danger there. Vercoloni now. Over to Kemp.
As the game settles in here, we're 11 minutes in or so, you can sense and feel the confidence that Richmond plays with, even on the road. Put their foot on the ball, not in a hurry. Make you work defensively. An experienced side, some new faces, Seaton, Davis, but these, they seem to have a good rhythm to their play even here early on.
There's Kemp's pass intended for Martin.
There you see Martin pressing up all the way at the top of the Eagles penalty box, forcing a center back to mark him, whereas Drew Yates, playing a similar position for Charlotte, has been stuck back in the midfield. Charlotte will be wanting to get Yates more involved, get him pushed up further forward, be able to play almost like a second striker with Gino.
Yates, memorable for his role last year as the super sub, coming off the bench to score game-winning or tying goals in 3 games, most notably at Charlotte. As the Richmond crowd here likes the effort from Martin, but back to Drew Yates' goal against Charleston. It was in stoppage time to secure the tie that helped the Eagles win the Southern Derby for the 2nd year in a row.
Now Yates provided huge minutes. Off the bench, was essentially a 12th starter. Came in, a lot of energy, nose for the goal.
And now Coach Steffens and his staff are hoping to have that for the full 90 minutes this year.
A little more pressure there from Charlotte.
Seaton threading his way through, finding Martin. Now Yates on the ball.
Can they get numbers forward? Seems like there's a lot of black jerseys around the ball.
And that's Asante to cut that one off. Played with the Eagles last year.
That's a tough ball. Duckett's asking Herrera to receive there. A little more like it. Keep it on the floor. Roll it through.
As that one goes in. And it's just inches away from Boggs and inches away from being a goal. But instead, it's
Able
going
to
to
get the
be
ball on the floor. Newnham and Herrera combining through the midfield, freeing up Gino down the flank. Like the positioning from Boggs, getting from the right side all the way across the face of the goal to be the first one there. Just couldn't quite connect in front of Taylor in the net for Richmond.
He's now Martin over to Davis. More appropriately known as Davis the third. Asante
Good switch.
all the way across the field. And all the way across again. Cut off by Boggs.
You see two players on the ball, Davis and Vercalone, closing down Siccheri there when he receives it. That's going to be tough to play out of the midfield when they're able to get that many numbers around the ball. So that's where I think if they can find a way to play past those midfield three for Richmond and into David Gino, and he can hold the ball up. See him coming real deep to get the ball now. He's getting, keep here Yates high, get it into him, and then see if you can get past those midfielders and get numbers to go join them.
Going to be a Kickers throw in. Make sure to follow the league, USL Pro, on Twitter at USL Pro for all the latest updates. And visit the USL Pro fan page on Facebook at facebook.com/USL Pro. And of course, visit the league website, uslprosoccer.com, for everything USL Pro. And new for this year, every USL Pro regular season and playoff game will stream live on YouTube. Features include DVR, chat, and social media interactivity. Subscribe for free to the Charlotte Eagles YouTube channel today. And also, Nike is a proud sponsor of USL Pro. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information. As Vercalone on the ball looking to make something happen. And Yates cuts down Davis.
Davis the fourth there, picking the ball up wide and able to get inside of the defenders for Charlotte, get into that space in the midfield where he can be dangerous, looking to shoot or to slip Seaton through. Colin Martin over the ball.
And Herrera heads it out of the box.
Not the best header from Asante.
Not going to see Asante win many headers, but luckily for him, he was unchallenged on that one. The Eagles, Newnham manages to keep that one in. Gino battling with Yambi. But Taylor comes out and clears it out. Now Yates over to Dixon. Gold. Cut off by Vercalone. Now Seaton.
Well defended by Duckett.
But yes, well defended by Duckett and cleared out.
This
As the kids race to get the ball. And that's a foul called on Guzman. The ref having a few words with Guzman, telling him to be careful next time. Might be a yellow card. Francois threading his way through, but cut off by Fred. Now, Gino hoping somebody was there.
Yeah, Charlotte attacking a lot more on the counter, not really able to sustain pressure, win the ball, and break with 3 or 4 guys, but don't have the numbers in the attack that Richmond's able to generate. But that's a great little ball. Good look from Dixon trying to drop it in for Boggs.
Taylor trying to regroup the kickers.
Boggs able to get in between Kemp and Yambi there. Alex Lee on the ball is also a University of Maryland grad. All the way back to Taylor. So we're approaching the midway point of the first half. No really good clear-cut chances either way. Would say Richmond's been able to put their foot on the ball and control a bit more of the flow. Really like the way their 3 in the midfield are defending Charlotte and keeping them from creating any rhythm. But neither team able to get much going in the final third.
Spreads the cherry. Trying to find Gino. Instead finds Alex Lee.
See Yates getting down the end line, only one number in the box. Here come a couple more. Most of Charlotte's best attacks have come down the left side when Noonan's been able to step in and intercept the pass, or they've been able to find Herrera quickly. Those 2 guys, I think, are going to be a key to Charlotte's success through the season, being able to get down that left side too. Quality players, high-level players there down the left flank for Charlotte.
Going to be called a
assistant referee here in this near corner pointed the flag for a goal kick, and then the center referee, Mark Katalisic, overruling him, giving a corner kick. See
and
if Charlotte can take advantage.
Going to be Herrera to take it.
Give him a really good ball in the last time they had a corner in this spot.
Ref having to calm
Duckett would be a likely target.
Sends it in a little far, but Gold able to corral it. Now back in.
Cherry, an unlikely target there. One of the smaller guys for Charlotte. Dixon tried to pick out.
So Cherry going up against Diombi. Not going to win that too often.
Davis and Kemp trying to combine. Get a ball in, but Duckett deals with it. Great ball by Davis to switch it over to Lee.
Francois back to Lee. To Vercoloni. To Yambi. Now Asante. Now Kalungi.
Can you break forward? Kalungi stepping into the midfield. Vercalone.
Swiftly wins it back.
Yeah, he's playing really well. He's picked off a ton of passes, really winning the ball high up the field. Good presence of mind there to cover for Kalungi, who had ventured into the midfield.
Taylor ventures out of the box to clear that one. Noonan sends that one goalward, but easily corralled by Taylor. Now Kemp.
Yeah, there wasn't a bad ball by Noonan to try and get in behind Richmond there, but that's what Charlotte seems to be reduced to at this point, trying to get something quick on the counter. That energy they had early on, pressing a lot of passes, they've settled in. Yates and Gino not playing as high up the field. Boggs, Herrera not really pressing the outside backs like they were early on. Richmond, you feel like slowly starting to get a little bit of a squeeze on the game.
Possession clearly being dominated by the Kickers. As you see, Seaton losing it and then gaining the ball. Kalungi back to Taylor.
That definitely doesn't mean that Charlotte's not in it. The Eagles have been able to combine and get into some decent spots, especially here on this left side as they're attacking through Noonan and Herrera, Yates. Probably,
Eagles relied on the counterattack a lot last year.
And is probably the preferred side to attack down, where you have the skill of Herrera to serve and the strength and the finishing mentality of Boggs to get on it on the other end. Just need to try and find a way to be a little more consistent, try and break that pressure, a bit more quality through the midfield to keep Vercalone, Asante from intercepting quite so many passes.
And that will come as the season progresses. Now Boggs, Yates, Boggs. Boggs getting tripped up by Asante. Going to be a dangerous spot for the free kick.
These are big moments in the game for the Eagles, for either team really. When you've got difficult opponent, got to take advantage of these.
Oh, dangerous spot there. Gino unable to put it in, and Duckett unable to get a solid footing. But the Eagles in possession again now. Guzman on the ball. Now Yates. Yates.
Yeah, and he's in behind.
And
found his way into a corner, but Boggs and Gino were hoping he could find a ball across the box to him. On that free kick, though, I think Richmond was assuming Charlotte would wait to let Herrera or Guzman put one in the box, and good little run from Boggs to get to the end line. Gino trying to flick it through to Duckett.
Herrera sends it in. Noonan able to get ahead on it with Taylor out of position, but unable to do anything. That's going to be a throw in for the Eagles. Dixon going to come up and take it. Cherry now Yates. Well, a dangerous ball, but a diving Ryan Taylor corralled.
Great composure by Yates to turn that and put something on frame. Good presence of mind there. Awareness by Taylor to get down quickly. But looked like a couple of shouts for a handball on the initial long throw in from Dixon. Was flicked on and by Duckett, I believe, and there were appeals for a handball on the deflection. Mark Katalisic letting play continue on.
Now Noonan on the flank, trying to thread his way through, gets into the box, and he fires one goalward, but right into the arms of Taylor. Eagles stepping up the pace in the past couple minutes.
Better from Charlotte. First time since the opening minutes that we've seen Ben Noonan that deep. He has the ability, even as an outside back, to cause trouble in the final third.
Now Dixon sending it forward, looking for Boggs. Instead, finds the head of Yambi. Now Kemp. Dangerous into Seaton, but Seaton called offside.
That was tight. That was a brilliant ball dumped in there by Kemp. Dropped it right over the head of Matt Gold. Charlotte fortunate that the official there on the far side ruled Seaton offsides.
As now Richmond dangerous.
They're going to give a goal there? Or
apparently they are.
Yeah, they have given a goal.
I thought it bounced off the top of the bar, but apparently it bounced back into the play.
Yeah, Herrick got his hands on the initial save, comes off the bar, back down to him, and his momentum, I don't know if his momentum was carrying him to the goal, so he tried to play it out, but instead of catch it, or if he wasn't able to grab it with Seaton right there. But I think I would assume they'll credit Seaton with the goal on that. Seemed like it went ricocheted off of him, off the far post, and into the net.
Unfortunate for the Eagles.
It came after Charlotte's best spell of pressure just about the entire game. But that whole sequence started with Colin Martin intercepting a pass, picking a ball up in the midfield, and getting Francois down the line, getting him in early.
Guzman takes a cheeky, quick free kick, finds Boggs, but he was shielded by Kalungi and unable to do anything. And now Kemp on the ball for the Kickers.
Taylor has struggled with his distribution so far in the first half. Apologizing, hands up to his backs there for putting Kemp in a tough spot.
Dixon going to take the throw in.
Duckett will be the target here. Not enough on it.
He finds Kemp instead. That Martin clearance goes out of bounds. And that's going to be another Eagles throw in.
So they have announced that they did officially give the goal to Seaton there with an assist to Francois. So the two DC loanees combining with about 15 minutes to go there in the first half.
As Asante racing forward, battling with Noonan. Noonan wins.
Well done by Noonan.
Gets it back to Duckett. Now Guzman over to Dixon. Dixon trying to find Yates. But Kim gets a foot on it, knocks it out of bounds for Eagle throw in. Now Sacheri gets into the box.
Whoa. Nope.
Takes a tumble, but not ruled a foul.
No appeals, no shouts even from Fred himself. Just gets up and carries on. It's a good turn and pick out though from Drew Yates to find Sacheri coming through the lines there, getting in behind Vercalone.
Yes, Seaton in the box, battling with Duckett. Finds Francois. And loses it. Now Noonan clears it out of danger. Boggs trying to find Herrera, looked like, on the header. Now Asante on the ball for the Kickers.
You feel like Richmond, if they're under pressure, if they aren't sure, they can just put a ball back over the heads of the Charlotte defense, and Seaton can find his way to get on the end of it. And you don't sense that from Gino being able to do that against Yombi and Kalungi. So you see that early ball trying to get it in behind. Then you got
good
guys
defense by Duckett there.
And guys like Davis and Martin, Francois, they come in and get the second ball.
As good as Richmond was last year, they've only improved. This is a fantastic team that is going to do some damage to the league this year.
And I think you can anticipate them being right there at the top again. Obviously, injuries, will
barring
play
injury,
a part.
yeah.
But with the roster that they have, also with the MLS partnerships, if a guy like Francois or Seaton or a couple of these guys get called back up, you lose some rhythm in that. Even if you get new players, assimilating them into the team, getting guys to play together. But if this group here stays together, you feel like they're gonna be right there the whole way.
We saw that with Orlando City last year. Had Dom Dwyer, who was absolutely superb for the Lions, loanee from Sporting KC, and he did so well. Sporting called him back up, sent TJ Sapong down as a replacement, and Sapong just was never able to fit in with the Lion offense and have the same type of chemistry and damage that Dwyer did.
That was a great ball by Duckett. Looked like he had gotten himself into some trouble, but ended up finding Dixon wide right.
Now Francois. Martin now. Lee finds Yombi, who had both hands up, pleading for the ball. Now Seaton. Francois. Lee, his cross, finds Dixon, and he clears it out for the Eagles. Boggs wins it. Tried to send it through to Gino, but unable to do it. Now Vercalone. Boggs.
And then two kickers right there. He beats the first guy, and there's two guys waiting on him.
Now Santi coming out of nowhere, and he gets a shot, And a diving save by Herrick. Great play from Asante. Going to be a corner kick for the Kickers.
With Vercalone sitting in and controlling the midfield, Martin's been able to press up almost like another forward, and then Asante, you see there, flying through as well. Boggs with a good win off of Martin's corner.
Gino unable to corral that one. And now Kemp for the Kickers. Cleared out by Gold, but cleared directly to Yambi. Asante. Great work there by Kemp to prevent the three pass to Gold. Excuse me. Yates now trying to find Fred.
About 5 minutes to go here in the first half. Charlotte will be looking to just sustain the pressure that Richmond's putting on them, hold them at bay, see if they can shift the game a little bit, take a little bit of momentum, get something positive going here before they get to the half.
It's dangerous
Great
now.
ball
It's
by
Seaton
Davis.
in the box, but he goes right to Herrick.
Very fortunate. Very fortunate there.
Now Dixon looking to make something happen on the counterattack. Finds Gino, but Gino loses it to Vercalone. Nice combo there. Vercalone with it still. Richmond fans protesting that.
The turf monster, I think, got him on that one.
Reached up and grabbed him.
Good interception by Gino there. See if Charlotte can take advantage of winning the ball a little higher up the field.
Now Guzman. Guzman spent the offseason on trial with the Colorado Rapids, playing with former teammate Clint Irwin, who's now the starting keeper for the Rapids. Was playing with Charlotte 2 years ago. Was a key component to the Eagles' run to the quarterfinals, as Fred's called for a foul there.
George Davis down there for Richmond. Looks like he's going to be okay.
Irwin, as I was saying, was key to the run to the quarterfinals of the U.S. Open Cup. Referee Kudlesic is very demanding tonight. Dangerous ball in there, but cleared out by Noonan. Going to be a corner kick for the Kickers.
There you saw Richmond draw Dixon in at the right back for Charlotte. Use Martin to kind of suck him inside, draw him up and in, and then release Kemp into that space. Boggs another win on the corner.
Now Gino loses it to Yambi. Now Vercalone. Francois racing to get to it. Francois. Now Yates. Pushed from behind by Francois.
Good touch by Guzman. Find Herrera.
And Herrera tried to chip it in to Boggs.
Yombi is a big man back there. Tough to win much off of. There he is again.
As George Davis took a hard tumble. Went up to battle with the cherry for a header and came down hard.
So as we approach the 45-minute mark, now into stoppage time, gonna be thinking about what changes or what Coach Kalishaw and Coach Steffens will be saying to their teams. There's the half. If you're Coach Kalishaw, I don't think you have a whole lot to complain about. Pretty professional performance there. Making it tough on Charlotte, taking advantage of maybe a little bobble there by Herrick, making him pay on it, Seaton in the right place. 32nd minute goal.
And
Richmond up 1-0.
Just how this game goes, being in the right place at the right time pays off quite often. But we'll take a quick 15-minute break for halftime, and we'll be back for the second half.
Well, sports ministry is like the gospel in action. You're able to speak the gospel, but you're also able to be an example on the field and doing something that you love.
Soccer is the #1 sport in the world. You can go anywhere. All you need is a ball. It's the perfect tool, in my mind, to share the gospel.
So many people in so many different cultures play sports, and soccer is probably the biggest because it's all around the world.
I think my favorite thing is actually playing matches against other teams and then afterwards getting to share with them.
Being able to show the love of God while you're playing, and more so afterwards when you're able to talk with people one-on-one or even to a crowd, explaining why you're doing what you're doing.
Have those intentions of, okay, I'm going to use this not for myself but to benefit others. God just takes that and just expands it and just blows it up bigger than you could ever imagine.
Training is a core part of what we do to accomplish our mission, a season of training to prepare players for a lifetime of service.
We try to do what we call sports ministry training, where we're training our men to take their faith and put it on the field. That's through transformation.
Going through the material, the sports ministry training material, of just kind of a theology of sports ministry and learning more deeper about how God wants us to be in the context of sport.
That's the standard of excellence we're going to have.
We all enjoy the game. I love to coach, I love to play. All these guys are driven, they're competitive, but investing in these guys on the spiritual side, that's what I get excited about, and that I get to do it within the environment of soccer.
It's a phenomenal place to grow. From the staff around you, to the opportunities you get, to the leadership you can provide for the team, the perfect place to be as an athlete.
I love being a part of, I guess, just a Christian organization that is so fired up about God and using soccer as their ministry.
There are a lot of guys that are really serious about growing spiritually, and I've been mentored by several so far already.
I was challenged to not only improve myself on the field, I was able to grow in certain things off of the field as well. I don't think I'd be the person I am today without the organization altogether.
Being at camp with kids, I felt more alive than I've ever felt.
As we try to teach kids how to play soccer, to get better, we also share Christ with them, which is our main purpose here.
This Camp of 200 is being led by two of our student leaders, and they're doing an excellent job giving them a practical experience in leadership.
Over in Japan, we do clinics for kids as well as playing different university teams. And even though there's a language barrier,
Playing soccer always helps break it down, and
I mean, especially when we go to Brazil, it's Portuguese as the language and then soccer. And immediately the kids just respond to us because we play soccer, we invest in their lives, and now they're open to hear about the gospel.
You go across the country and you pick up a ball, and within 10 minutes you have 50 to 100 kids surrounding you, and so just knowing that it can easily build relationships. And
how one sport, how one soccer ball and a smile can unite two teams who can't even communicate because we don't even understand each other. It's hard to describe, and being a part of it has been such a blessing.
I was really feeling that we were supposed to live alongside people, to move into neighborhoods, to move into cities that need Christ's light, and just let Christ's Spirit flow through us there.
Sports ministry, being a sports minister, brought us into the neighborhood. We were using soccer to build relationships with the kids through soccer practice and playing soccer out on the field.
My heart is to see this whole community transformed by God's love. And so it started with us rolling out a soccer ball 2 years ago and bringing a couple snacks. And so we'd play soccer for an hour, hour and a half.
We are to have deep relationships with the families here and serve in whatever place that you can.
They're equipped to go take what they've learned and duplicate it, replicate it in another culture, back at their college team, wherever they go to coach. But we hope that by the time they spent the summer with us, they're empowered to go out and change the world and make life changers.
And so we just want to be intentional through a motivating platform that draws youth. It's a magnet to youth, to provide that platform to be able to share that message of hope with the youth of the world.
Camps with the Charlotte Eagles is the craziest, most insane thing that you'll ever love.
We teach them skills of the day.
We work on passing, shooting.
We try to have as professional of teaching as we can. We have fun days like Wacky Wednesday and Jersey Thursday. We have contests every morning and prizes, and we just have a blast.
It's so much bigger than the game of soccer.
Soccer camp, a place that you wouldn't really expect them to get Jesus, we can give it to them. It's just a way where we can love kids and we can teach them about the Lord and about how much He loves them.
They're all about the soccer, and then they love the Bible time.
The Elite Camp, we basically try and take our normal camps but step it up a notch. So Elite Camp, we try to pick up the quality, choose more challenging drills, and really try and push the kids athletically to see if they can improve and learn something new.
All girls camp is really fun. Guys aren't allowed. If any guys come close to the fence, they start screaming, "No boys allowed."
I've never seen more kids that have been more encouraging. Running up, telling each other good job, giving high fives, it's really been a cool thing.
But at these camps, you know, the coaches really care about your kids.
But we take it very seriously, the instruction that hopefully they grow as a player in soccer. We come and we grow them as soccer players, as athletes, but also just as people. Things like honesty and sportsmanship.
How much can we invest in these kids' lives for the short period of time that we have?
There's tons of kids, tons of energy, and God works miracles through that week.
And we're back underway here at Dixon Field. We've got one substitution to report for you. The Charlotte Eagles, number 14, David Gino, came off. And recent signing, Giuseppe Gentile, came on, number 28. Now Seaton trying to track down the ball. Herrick instead gathers it and finds Duckett. Now Guzman. And that's Gentile trying to battle already, putting more pressure on than Gino did.
Gentile's a local guy here from Charlotte, played at UNC Charlotte, went to Ardrey High School. Drafted by the Chicago Fire and then signed and loaned back to Charlotte here for the season. So good to have a local guy in the side in his first season of professional soccer.
Now,
good size, good physical presence up front, makes great runs. You'll see him be looking to run across the line of the defense. Try and get in behind.
As Asante and Yates battling there. And Lee to Vercoloni, back to Lee, back to Kalungi.
Not sure if it's a permanent switch, but Yates is playing wide left here and Herrera through the middle. See if that's something that Coach Steffens stays with or if that just happened in transition.
Asante tackles Guzman there. Dixon misplays it. And now into the box looking for Seaton. But right into the arms of Herrick. Great cross there. Great combination of play for the Kickers.
Kemp getting down the left side again. Putting that ball in the mix. Seaton, that's way too free. Can't let him get that free. So here's Gentile.
Gentile
from behind. See if get the first card of the night possibly. And we do.
And that's going to be Asante. Herrera is going to take the ensuing free kick.
Fairly immediate impact from Gentile collecting that ball, getting it behind Asante, getting goal side of him, forcing the foul there in an opportune spot. Herrera, excellent deliverer of the ball. See if you can find Boggs or Gentile or Duckett here on the back post.
And he sends it in. Unable to find anybody. Going to be a goal kick for Taylor.
Would have liked to seen a little more balance to the runs there. Looked like 3 guys came towards the front half of the goal. Nobody covered that space in the back half.
As Dixon clears it out. And that's Gentile. Loses it to Yambi, though. Now Fred trying to find Gentile.
So it is going to be Yates, at least for now. Yates wide left. Herrera playing underneath Boggs, who's moved from wide right, where he played in the first half, to the central striker in place of Gino. And then it's Gentile who's going to be playing that wide right position that Boggs occupied in the first half. So it would appear that Coach Steffens, Coach Shack, Coach Dixon not making any major changes to the formation, but moving some players around, seeing if getting Herrera in the middle of the field helps things out.
As
Here
Yates moves forward. Going to be headed out. Going to be a corner kick for the Eagles. You can see Duckett coming forward. Hard to miss Duckett wearing his bright neon yellow boots, as they're called in the soccer world.
Herrera and Yates standing over this one.
Herrera sends it in.
Misread there between Seaton and Francois. Richmond, though, with counterattack ability through Davis and Seaton and Francois. They've got some pace if you get caught too far forward. As happened to Charlotte in the first half. Francois able to get behind them down the right flank, get a ball into the mix. Going to get Guzman there for getting a hold of Vercalone, I think. Really like Seaton as a young player. I mean,
17 years old.
Just, yeah, really like his movement. He finds a way to time it well, to get into space, had the first right to the ball on stuff that's dumped over the top. He stretches the field well and is able to hold it and collect it. I think he's at that age to play not just with the athletic ability he has or even the technical ability, but the positioning, the runs, pretty advanced for where he's at just as a 17-year-old.
He has a bright future ahead for him.
You can
with
see,
DC.
yeah, you can see why DC United would want to get him in.
Yates now in the box. And a goal! Yates finds Juan Guzman in the 54th minute to level the game at 1. You could almost feel it when Yates got in the box. You knew it was coming.
Great composure by Yates. Felt there for a second that he had a shot he could earlier and got down a little deep, lost his angle, and was wondering whether he had missed the opportunity. But found Guzman coming in late to the top of the box. Midfield from Richmond watching the ball maybe a little bit. Guzman slips in. Good composed finish. Beats Taylor 1-1.
Noonan, Yates. Guzman. Trying to get Dixon on the far side, unable to.
Yates is playing left, that left mid position now, but he's tucking in there. Herrera's pressing on, trying to stay connected to Boggs and Gentile. And then you got Yates sliding from the left into the middle, and that leaves all of this space out here for Noonan, which he's comfortable in. He's covers a lot of ground. Well covered there by Guzman. Guzman's definitely more of a possession-oriented midfielder, not a guy that you anticipate picking up a lot of goals, but found himself in a good spot there. Yates trusted him, laid him a decent ball back. and made it count.
Now Seaton on the ball for Richmond. Cleared out by Duckett.
Well done by
Seaton
Matt Gold.
actually has the distinction of being the first MLS player born after the league began to play when he made his debut for United.
As a
Homegrown
1996 birthday. Crazy to think someone born in 96 is a professional. Good player though. A lot of potential. But now let's see if Charlotte can build on that goal, that Guzman goal, and sustain something. See if that brings Richmond out a little bit. They seem pretty comfortable with where the game was there, making Charlotte chase the game. Now see if they try and assert themselves a little more. Up to this point in the first half, you've sensed like Seaton has been kind of all by himself up top. You haven't seen Martin up there, number 14, joining him quite as high up the field. Maybe that changes now that Charlotte's equalized.
Now back to Taylor. Fred wins it.
More confidence though here in the second half. I know they've obviously a goal will do that, but even before the goal, felt like Charlotte came out with a little more purpose, a little more decisive. Yates, Herrera, Gentile even coming off the bench, his first professional appearance. He got in and was busy, was active.
There's Boggs.
It's going to be on sides. Nope, did call him off. This Charlotte midfield is settled in as the game's gone along, but certainly missing the presence of Wells Thompson in there, who Chicago Fire player, former Wake Forest Demon Deacon, who joined the Eagles this season. And Wells is not with the team tonight because his wife gave birth yesterday to their first child. So congratulate Wells on the birth of Declan Wyatt. Hope everybody's doing well, and he'll be, I'm sure, all smiles when he gets back to the team sometime later on this week. So, Wells, if you're watching, back in the hospital room, congrats. And I know these guys are trying to get stuck in and see if they can find a second goal here for you. But Wells, a experienced player, quality player who I would have loved to have seen matched up with Vercalone, a couple guys who really know not just what to do, their intelligence level, positioning, reading of the game would have been fun to see going at each other.
Well, if he's watching the game right now in the hospital, I would tell him to stop and focus on his newborn son and his wife.
He's a competitor, though. He's going to want to keep an eye on his boys here on the field. So.
But Declan Thompson, I like that name.
yeah.
Declan's a strong name. But I would say that's a pretty dang good excuse.
Yeah, if you're going to miss, it's a worthwhile reason.
Absolutely. Congratulations.
Meanwhile, Guzman, Sakari, and Yates trying to get things done in the middle here against the quality Richmond midfield, which includes Vercalone, who's on the ball now.
Now Lee. Got Francois and Seaton. But Herrera deflects it out of bounds for the Kickers throw-in. Vercalone sends it in, but Duckett heads it out. Now Asante.
Well done by Gentile.
As Asante's injured after that tie-up with Gentile. take a moment to remind everybody watching that the Eagles' next home game is Friday, April 25th against the Chicago Fire Reserves. That game will be at UNC Charlotte.
Transamerica Field.
Thank you. I couldn't remember the name of the field. And also want to remind everybody to follow us on Twitter at Charlotte Eagles. Follow USL Pro at USL Pro. Visit the USL Pro fan page on Facebook at facebook.com/USL Pro. And don't forget about the league's website, stats, scores, news, and more exclusively on USLProSoccer.com.
Asante jogs off here to the near side. Looks like he's going to be fine to carry on. Got caught in a 50-50 collision with Gentile, and Asante's not going to fare well in many of those collisions. In space, he's great. Getting those 50-50s, he's just a little guy. So waiting now for the ref to allow him back on, and here he comes. Well done by Yates.
Now Guzman over to Noonan. Noonan trying to thread one through to Gentile, but defended well by Yambi.
You see there, Gentile working across the line of the back four, making Yambi chase him. Believe in one of these times they'll find the timing and find a gap and slip him through. Like the movement from him up top so far. Martin now trying to find the back post. Vercalone. Herrick, well done.
And that's a foul.
In the goal there.
Called on Francois with a kick to the chest of Herrick.
Eagles fans applaud the keeper being brave. That was a good look for Vercalone. Found himself free there. Ball sat up nicely. Hit it well, but within the reach of Herrick, who pounced up quickly to beat Francois to the rebound.
Now, foul going to be called on Martin. Nike is a proud sponsor of USL Pro. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information.
From a bit closer, Herrera put in a dangerous ball last time. See if Charlotte can find their way onto the end of this one. As now Seaton comes all the way back to help defend. That was a good delivery. Well won by Kalungi in the back.
Yates. Now Noonan, but cleared out by the Kickers.
Yates thought about going ahead and hitting it, and probably now wishes that he would have just given it a ride. Well defended there on that sideline by Boggs. Getting down, making the tackle, and even able to keep the ball in play.
Now back to Duckett.
Really a tale of two halves.
There's Yambi.
The game's been played to the left side of midfield as we face it and as you look at it. In the first half, it was Richmond having a decent control of the flow of possession, playing on the positive half of midfield. And here in the second half, it's been Charlotte able to get their foot on the ball a little more, playing the positive half of the field. But you still have to be aware of Francois, be aware of Seaton, Davis. Got some guys with some pace, and as you press numbers forward, you're going to leave space in behind. You see more commitment to defending in transition from Charlotte. As soon as they lose the ball, Eagles getting tighter pressure, more committed as a group, closing space down, helps you win the ball higher up the field. That's a great ball by Vercolone to find Asante.
And now,
Ooh.
just wide was the shot from Davis.
That was a good little string of passes there by Richmond. Won the ball back at the right back, get it through Vercolone, through Asante, and all the way out to the far side and spring Davis in. Got him into a good spot, just missed the far post. Without Wells Thompson available, it'll be interesting to see what Charlotte does if any of these midfielders' legs start to give out on them. Not sure where the depth in the midfield would necessarily come from. You've got Wickham and Gomez as midfielders listed there, but they're more wide players. Would be like traditional wide midfielders or wingers. So be interesting to see as the game goes on if Sakari's really working hard, chasing guys around in the midfield. Wonder if he can sustain that for 90 minutes.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Charlotte Eagles YouTube channel today. Every USL Pro regular season and playoff game will be live on YouTube this year. Features include DVR, chat, and social media interactivity. As Martin now has a breakaway. Duckett defending. Seaton moving on. And now Martin in the box. A save made by Herrick.
That was just a mix-up there. Guzman went to play it wide and thought that Dixon would take it on. Dixon went up the line to allow Gold to slide out there and take it. Gold thought Dixon would have it and ended up going right to Davis.
Gentile now dangerous in the box. Tries to shoot. Wins a corner. Had Yates in the box.
Striker mentality there. He's got it on his right foot in the box. He's going to give it a go. Had the defender, maybe that was Kemp, not gotten across and blocked it. Been interesting to see where that ended up.
Herrera sends it in. Headed away from danger by Yambi. Newnham lets it roll out for the Eagle throw in.
The long throw from Dixon. Looking to target Duckett again.
Now
Richmond
Martin
deals with it.
As you saw Newnham go up and over the visiting bench. Luckily, all of the Richmond Kickers are up, warming up.
Yeah, Coach Kalishaw pretty lonely down there. Just him and the trainer.
And they're not sitting near each other.
Everybody else for Richmond up and moving think you can expect in the next 5 minutes or so to see a change or two from Richmond.
Eagles also have some players warming up as Noonan finds Gentile. Gentile battling with Kalungi. And Noonan with a great great opportunity in the box. The shot goes over the goal and over the net.
Good work from Noonan. Composed, found Gentile. You could see what Gentile wanted to do to kind of flick it, lift it through to Herrera in the middle. Couldn't get it to him, but battled. Didn't let it out easily, and it fell to Noonan, who had a defender's effort at it there on the strike on goal.
That's going to be a Richmond throw in.
Some Eagles fans here giving a shout out to Asante, a fan favorite during his time here in Charlotte. One of those guys that everybody loves, the undersized guy getting out there working real hard.
As the turf monster reaches up and grabs Francois. Yeah, it's an easy one to Noonan now.
Great ball.
Boggs to Herrera. Herrera sending one
Another,
through,
oh.
misplayed by Gentile. Scrambles back to regain it. Now Herrera. Into Fred. Over to Duckett. Deflects off of Davis. It's going to be a corner kick.
Another corner kick for Charlotte. You got to think eventually, at some point here, going to find Duckett or Boggs or Gentile. Get one of these guys on the end of a corner here for a look at goal.
Sends one in. Dangerous. Duckett. Gentile was there, but unable to make a play on the ball. Taylor with the goal kick. Taylor sends it down.
Was interested to see what Charlotte's response would be to, as the game went on, to being 1-1. Haven't been down 1-0. You are playing the defending regular season champs in Richmond. Would they be content at 1-1 and try and hold that result? But Coach Steffens is clearly giving Yates and Herrera the green light to get forward. Going for all 3 points. The guys have responded. Good sustained pressure out of the Eagles so far in the second half. Gonna get Asante for getting his boot up a bit high.
Referee having no back talk from either side. Gentile. Into
Can
the
he hit
box. Goes too far, unable.
And just slides it by the post.
Play. Waited a little too long.
Seemed like he had 2 or 3 different opportunities to shoot it, but still managed to hold on to the ball and couldn't quite cut it back far enough. And Alex Lee
not happy.
No, feeling like when Gentile turned there, he caught him with an elbow, swung his arm at him.
Herrera trying to smooth things over.
Referee determining that it was incidental.
We're going to have Shea Spitz coming on for Cristiano Francois. Let's see how that changes things for the Kickers.
We've got 14, Colin Martin sliding out wide right to take the spot occupied by Francois. Looks like Spitz is going to play on the left, and Davis will slide in the middle.
Yeah, Seaton and Dixon have a little scuffle. Foul called on Richmond.
Much better by Charlotte in this half to maintain possession through the midfield. The spaces where they've lost the ball have not been areas where Richmond could counter quickly, could cause any damage immediately in transition. They've been able to get the ball into the final third. Oh, very nearly Ben Noonan turning out of pressure. But you've seen Charlotte be able to get the ball to Gentile and Boggs further up the field, get numbers further forward, and even if it doesn't result in a good look at goal, when Richmond wins the ball back, they win it back, at the top of their own box, and it's difficult to score from there. You force them to go through all 11 players to get anything going on offense.
There's now Herrera trying to slip behind Kalungi, but Kalungi beats him to it. Taylor with another almost miscue there. Kalungi. Now Vercoloni. And that's going to be... will it be? It will not be Charlotte's first card of the night.
Coach Kalishaw's dismay was asking the referee why not.
That was Gentile with the foul. Martin, now Seaton. Guzman wins, and now Fred over to Gentile. Yambi closing in. Gentile pulls up, allows for some reinforcements to come, and tried to nutmeg Yambi, but got fouled by Yambi instead. As
the young guy, the rookie, taking on the veteran and going right at him. No fear there. That's maybe not, the most intelligent play, but I think if you're Coach Steffens, you like that mentality out of an attacking player, that he gets on the ball, he sees your space behind, even if it's a veteran defender like Yombi, and he believes that he can get into dangerous spots.
That one, Kalungi headed it.
You feel like Herrera's put some decent balls in there, and guys just haven't been able to
win them.
Yeah, to judge them well, to find out where they're gonna land. As Herrera picks that off in midfield and gets forward.
Finds Gentile. He tries to cross it, but it visited the moon before it came back down. Taylor going to take the goal kick as we're about 10 minutes from the end of regulation. Sure to have some stoppage time.
Yeah, had a card, a goal, an injury to Asante, so could be anticipating a few minutes of stoppage time.
Fred kicks that one out of bounds.
Richmond's kind of gotten away from Seaton a little bit. They haven't found him recently. He's been on a bit of an island, haven't really been able to look his way. I think a lot of that comes to the matter of the pressure that the Eagles have been able to get on the midfield and the backs of Richmond to deny service up to Seton.
And he's being closely marked by Duckett as well. Duckett finally figuring out how to guard him.
Yeah, I think Duckett and Gold have made some good adjustments because Seton was finding a lot of space there in the first half and even early in the second half, but they really shut down those gaps that he was looking to get into. Defended him pretty well.
That one bounces off of Noonan. Lee, Fred, unable to do anything with it. Dixon recovering there to keep Spitz.
Spitz had gotten inside him though. That was dangerous. Good confident ball by Herrick. Well done by Martin to get out of that.
Kemp now.
Start to wonder whether legs are getting a little heavy for the midfielders for Charlotte. Yates, Sakari, Guzman. Just in the past few minutes, things have started to open up a little more. Richmond midfielders finding a little more time on the ball. Able to pick out players to get in behind. Press the field a little bit. Yeah, you see Richmond trying to turn things up a little here in the final 7.5 minutes of regular time.
Yates with the, excuse me, not Yates.
Gentile got a
with
foot
the
on that.
deflection. Seton. Now Fred.
Well done there.
Now Noonan. And Charlotte fans begging.
Wanted him to hit it big to the backside. Yates drew Yombi in. Boggs could have gotten in behind him. There, the turf. I feel like the keepers and backs, when the ball is a long ball and it bounces, you just don't know what kind of bounce it's going to take. Whether it's going to skip through there. I think normally Herrick would have felt like that ball would get all the way to him at the top of the box. Never got there. Well covered by Gold. Gets a foot in there.
And Fred trying to find Boggs. Well defended by Yombi. Back to Taylor. Yombi not going to be beaten easily.
Good work there to get up the line. Kemp's been dangerous down that left side out of the back.
Now Martin. And one by Gold. But goes out of bounds for a Richmond throw-in. We're going to redo the throw-in because we've got a substitution. It's going to be Boggs coming off, and it looks like it's going to be Tyrone Hall coming on.
A lot of pace coming on the field here for the Eagles for the last 5 minutes in stoppage time. The Eagles can free somebody up in the midfield to
There's
get the ball
a
behind.
Eagles player down in the box also.
Looks like it might be Dixon, right back, Richard Dixon.
Trainer Katrina Courtwright coming out to take a look at him.
Without Johnny Leathers in the squad, pulled hamstring last week against Dayton. Eagles a little thin at the outside back position. Got J.J. Greer and Talani Ibekunle. I'll take a stab at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, J.J. and Talani.
And it is going to be Ibekunle coming in for Dixon. Dixon doesn't look to be hurt too badly, but Coach Steffens deciding to go ahead and get a pair of fresh legs in on defense.
Looked like it might have been a cramp. There he was trying to work out, stretching that hamstring. You hope it's a cramp because they've already lost one right back to a hamstring injury.
And Seaton is going to come off. Michael Seaton is going to come off, and Matt Delicante is going to come on.
Delicate, a proven scorer in the USL Pro Division.
As Noonan clears that one. Hall wins that one. Now Yates with it.
And they know what to
Sends
do.
it
Let him
forward.
run.
Looking
Ooh.
for Hall, and he was tripped up by a kicker.
Alex Lee, incidental. There, just got their feet tangled up. Yeah. Lee saying, well, I know maybe I should have gotten a call when the guy didn't mean to hit me in the face. But the Eagles will take this one. Getting into the final few minutes here. Fans sensing that this is a big moment.
Screaming for the ball on the far side of the box. It sends it in and headed out.
Colin Martin.
Corner.
Ref's going to indicating a throw in.
Oh, throw in. Could have swore it went out on the other side of the pole, but that's just my bad depth perception. Going to send that one in.
Bukunle with a big throw to the backside.
Now Yates gathers it, looking to do something. Over to Herrera. And Herrera curls one in, and that's a goal! Herrera! Took a deflection off of the kicker before it found the back of the net. Here in the 89th minute, the Eagles take the lead.
Just when you thought this one was headed to 1-1, the chances were starting to become fewer and fewer in between. The veteran captain Herrera steps up, got a fortunate direct deflection there, I think, to get it by Taylor. Saw Verkelon put his hands on his head. Don't know if it came off of him. Unfortunate if it was. Verkelon's really done a nice job in the midfield for Richmond tonight. Be a shame to have it go off him for a goal, but Herrera's not complaining.
And that's going to be a corner for the Eagles.
The substitutions by Mark Steffens have paid some dividends. That free kick that led to getting that ball in the box that Herrera ended up with off the long throw, but that all started with Hall being able to get in behind, use his pace. Gentile's come on and been active.
And Richmond player coach Sasha Gorez has come on. And that's Gorez on the ball. Finds Lee.
They'll be seeing if they can get it to Delicate in the box. Big presence.
Now Lee sends it in. And Herrick gathers the bounce.
Pretty good effort there on the volley. Delicate couldn't quite fight his way past Duckett.
We're going to have 2 minutes of stoppage time just announced, as some of our younger crowd members have started a Let's Go Eagles chant. And that's going to be a yellow card for Gentile. Fouled on Yambi.
But now you're going to see, as often as they can, Richmond trying to just pump the ball long. See if Delicott can get a flick on for Davis or Martin. Maybe Spitz. But Yombi does not look good here.
Hasn't moved much. Did not see what happened.
As they get Yombi now on his back, take a look at him. Don't know if appears they're looking at the collarbone or shoulder, which would not be good.
He is clearly in some discomfort. Hope it's not a broken collarbone, because those are not pleasant.
Really struggling to just get himself up, not even using that right arm. Not moving it at all.
Tucked in.
Big, strong veteran defender, has been a dominating presence, really caused a lot of trouble for Charlotte forwards.
They're going to bring in a replacement. Hate to see that happen. Hope it's nothing too serious as he jogs off. His arm may hurt, but he's still in good spirits. And Shane Johnson is going to come in.
And immediately go up top. Pretty big frame there. Give him another option besides Delicott to dump this ball into.
Guy on the pitch. Taylor boots that one down. Duckett gets a head on it. Now Lee. And that shot just wide from Davis.
You just knew that was what the tactics would be coming down here, see if they can find Delicott. They've left Johnson up top and either flick it on or knock it down. Leave Davis to see if he can get free off of those two guys. They did it, and he hit it well, just put it a little wide. Herrick never even went for it, was frozen on his line there.
Now Yates clears it, trying to find Herrera. Unable to, goes out of bounds for Eagles throw in. Now Herrera wins it, but Lee tackles him. Looking for
3v3 up top. Not sure where Charlotte defense is. I think he'd be all hands on deck here.
And Shane Johnson has not seen his defensive half, as that shot from Colin Martin is corralled by Doug Herrick. Herrick, of course, replacing Eric Reed, a longtime keeper for the Eagles. Retired from playing professional soccer to take a job as an assistant coach at Bowling Green State. As that's the final whistle, and the Eagles, with a late goal in the 89th minute, take 3 points at home from Richmond.
Big win, and Powerade Ion player of the game. Got to go to Jorge Herrera.
Great game-winning goal there. Drew Yates with the assist.
Yeah. And I thought Yates played really well too. Yates and Herrera, when it was tough there for the Eagles for a while, fought through it, got them some rhythm there in the second half. Subs, Gentile came on, gave the Eagles some life. Really impressive to come from behind. To beat Richmond anywhere, anytime is big. To come from behind and do it, pretty impressive. Really got to tip your hat to Mark Steffens and the coaching staff. The changes they made at halftime, breathing a little life into the guys. And they came out in the second half and I thought earned 2 goals, deserved 2 goals.
And don't forget that the Eagles' next home game is actually at UNC Charlotte, Transamerica Field, as they host the Chicago Fire Reserves. That's Friday, April 25th at 7 p.m. And you can get your tickets at charlotteeagles.com. For Mitch Sanford, I'm Hunter Banks. Have a great rest of your night, and thanks for joining us.